Welcome back to Vanguardian News. I'm your host, Mahfouj Al-Qadir. Welcome back to the channel. Um, well, the country is moving forward with the business. Congress is moving forward with the business of hand of trying to either censor President Trump or either to go on with the articles of impeachment to remove him from office. Um, Odds are that that might be difficult if they pursue that. There's a lot of things on the table. There's a lot of people that I think that was involved with this latest coup that President Trump uh, incited with his rhetoric on January 6th, 2021. And to me, these people need to be accountable, held accountable, and they're complicit in their actions with spreading these lies, these falsehoods regarding the irregularities in the election, which there was nothing. But yet, Senator Hawley, Josh Hawley, Republican senator from Missouri, his recklessness, his urging of the mob with his fist pump, Ted Cruz, whose rhetoric, who was complicit in continue to edge on this lie, continue to support the president in these untruth lies as far as the voting, the election. So we have people here that's in office right now that they're entrenched and they're embedded in the Congress, and their actions are not in the best interest of the country at this moment. They need to be rooted out. They need to be kicked out of office. Those senators, those representatives, all need to be held accountable. They need to be censored. And if their actions continue, which I think they are, then they need to be tried and prosecuted for treason. That's just me. I'm not gonna mess around with people like that because you can see how dangerous it can be. And they're still, according to the FBI, if you can trust them, we don't know how many operatives that's in their camp. According to FBI, there has been a lot of chatter regarding retaliation attacks, more attacks to come as we get closer to the inauguration of Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. These people are dangerous. They need to be, really need to be uncovered, and they need to be exposed to the American people. As you can see, the MAGA party has completely gone out of control with their delusion. You can have protests. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with anybody protesting. What I have a problem with is when your rhetoric urges on a mob and you're rallying up a mob to, you know, to incite violence, or you do it in a situation where you know what type of people that you have that's already delusional and that's already in a mental state of anger, in a mental state of they feel like their country is that they know is It's crumbling. They're not comfortable with diversity. They're not comfortable with a certain demographic of the country being in positions of power. All to me they're not comfortable with that part of America. So they're anti-American in that sense with their rhetoric, and they can be dangerous. I believe Josh Hawley is dangerous. He wants to be president. He wants to appease the 75 million voters of the MAGA party. Ted Cruz, to me, is just as guilty, and he should be held accountable. And there's a lot of other Republicans now that's trying to come out and distance themselves from the president. It's too late, if you ask me. You can't have an eye-opening event when you was behind the movement that would lead up to last Wednesday's coup attempt, and that's what's going on. We're right now on the verge of civil war in this country, and we don't know exactly who the people are. Uh, there's a when you talk about as the Democrats has been talking about throughout the last summer of defunding police departments around the country. This is a perfect cocktail, a perfect storm, because when these police officers are, uh, you know, get defunded, these police departments, and a lot of these officers are looking at their survival, and they're looking at their main tool to inflict their white supremacy. Once you're not funded in doing this and get carte blanche as they've been getting in certain jurisdictions, they become desperate. There was Molotov cocktails last weekend that were found around around the Capitol, around the nation's capital. The pipe bombs. This is if let's say if their names were Karim, Ali, Muhammad on some of these last names of these people who got arrested, uh, it, they would be labeled as jihadists, which I find funny. A jihadist. Uh, People really need to read the Quran. And terrorists, they wouldn't even have a trial. They should be sent to Guantanamo Bay, like you would send someone from the Middle Eastern region, uh, hold them without a trial, and um, and do the things that you normally do uh, to them. So they should be held at Guantanamo Bay and get that same treatment. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. They're domestic terrorists. And anyone who says they're not, then I don't know what to say about you. But all you have to do is look at the footage and what they did to that Capitol and how they treated that Capitol. Now, some people around my part of town that said, let them just, let them do what they want to do. Just film it. But I know if there were uh, the situation was different as a like last summer, and if they would have stormed the Capitol, the protesters or the Black Lives Matter movement would have stormed the Capitol. We've been looking at mass graves on the mall. We'll be looking at bombs. We'll be looking at helicopters gunning and mowing people down. I'm 100% sure that would happen. But since these people are in positions of of influence, and they're in positions when they go home. I mean, you see it. You have one particular individual who was on the legislator, state legislator. So these people have influence. They have power, and I'm sure they can make phone calls and call in favors to their handlers and this rebellious cartel that they're under, and these different I like to say chapters of this rebellious cartel, these terrorists. So they have a lot of different access out here. You know, access to financial records, access to uh, financial plans, and you know, corporate people, corporate boys. But now you got the corporate boys who are now deciding to cut off their money to these Republicans, and we'll see how far that go. But that's all I had to say regarding that. I just thought it was interesting, and you know, it's sad that it comes down to this, but it is what it is. So take care.